Quick Easy English podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Quick Easy English, the podcast where we dive deep into your favorite shows, one episode at a time. I'm Jake.
And I'm Emily. And today, we're talking about Squid Game, Season 3. Yes, it's finally here and wow, it delivered.
Delivered and destroyed. Emotionally, spiritually, mentally. This season pulled no punches.
So if you've already watched the entire season or you don't mind spoilers, grab your tea, get comfy, because we're diving deep into the madness, the emotions, and all the blood-soaked brilliance that was Season 3.
So Emily, let's start at the top. When the season opened, what were you expecting?
Honestly, I was worried. Season 2 ended on such a sharp cliffhanger with Ji-hoon turning around at the airport. And I thought, okay, they're gonna drag this out. But nope. Episode 1 hits, and we're already being thrown back into the games, only this time with higher stakes.
Yes, I love that they didn't waste time. Right away, we see that this season isn't just a continuation, it's a transformation. Gi-hoon is not the same man we met in Season 1. He's out for revenge and something more.
He's trying to dismantle the system from within. But the way they reintroduce him broken, isolated, obsessed, it felt real and tragic.
And the tone? Super bleak. Like even more than the first 2 seasons.
Definitely. The color palette's darker, the games are colder, the stakes feel personal.
All right, let's walk through some of the big moments. I think we have to start with the hide-and-seek game.
Oh, my God! That was chilling. I did not expect the game to happen in complete silence.
Right? No music, no instructions, just this vast, echoey warehouse. And you could feel the dread crawling under your skin.
And then the twist, it wasn't just one person who would be it. It was AI-controlled drones. And they were fast.
It was like Predator meets childhood trauma. I think we lost like 40 people in that first round.
Yep, brutal introduction. But it set the tone. This isn't a game anymore. It's a purge.
And then the moment we both gasped, the baby reveal.
Kim Jun-hee, my heart.
Her baby being hidden in her uniform? No words. That flipped the whole game on its head. Literally. I've never seen a twist like that.
And the guards? They didn't know what to do. Even the VIPs on the other side of the screen were freaking out.
It was probably the most human moment this season in a show that constantly dehumanizes everyone.
So let's talk about the sacrifice arc. June, his death hit hard.
Too hard. Especially the way she calmly gives her daughter to the one ally she trusts. There's no dramatics, just acceptance. It's so quiet and so devastating.
And the symbolism? That she dies in the Bridge of Choices game, the same bridge where players decide to cross or push others? She chooses to fall so her daughter can live. Literal and metaphorical.
Gi-hoon watching from the other side, powerless, is what breaks him completely. You can see it. That's when revenge stops being enough. He wants redemption.
And let's not forget his final moment, when he lets himself fall knowing the game won't end, but choosing not to play by their rules anymore.
It's the ultimate rejection. He's saying, I am not your entertainment. He dies free.
Okay, let's shift gears. Jake, where does Season 3 stand for you, compared to the other 2?
It's my favorite. Easily.
Really? Over Season 1?
Yup. Season 1 was raw and shocking. Season 2 was transitional. But Season 3? It's art. It's complete. The character arcs, the writing, the direction, everything matured.
I can agree with that. It felt like a full circle moment. And not just for Ji-hun, for the entire narrative. Like, remember the VIPs in season 1? They were cartoonish. Here, they're terrifying, almost corporate.
Right. The introduction of international players and the reveal of Squid Game USA, that's a whole new level. And Kate Blanchett as the American recruiter?
Chef's kiss.
Do we need a spinoff? Yes. Will I watch it in one sitting? Also, yes.
Let's get a little deep here. What do you think the message of season 3 is?
Oof. Okay. Big question. For me, it's about parenthood, legacy. The idea that we don't just live for ourselves, we live for those we protect.
I love that. The baby becomes the soul of the show. She's innocence in a place designed to crush it.
Exactly. And Hun's last act is not about destroying the system. It's about saving that one life. That's his revolution.
And the front man? His arc shocked me. The fact that he saved the child? That was such a reversal.
He's the mirror of Gi-hun. Same pain, different path. He couldn't save his brother, so he saves this child instead. I want to talk about a surprising standout, Myung-gi, player 333.
Ugh, I had such a love-hate relationship with him. At first, he seemed like your typical anxious dad, protective, emotional, and then, bam, the switch flips.
Exactly. He's such a layered character. His descent into desperation was probably the most terrifying. He wasn't evil, just broken. He believed that winning was the only way his daughter could survive.
And what's ironic is that, in trying to save her, he almost becomes the monster he feared. That scene in the final challenge, when he tries to throw the girl off the sky tower, I gasped.
It's the moral line, and he crosses it. But the system pushed him there. That's the brilliance of this season. The game doesn't just test your survival skills. It tests your soul.
Let's talk symbols. This show is a metaphor buffet. Jake, favorite visual metaphor?
The mirrored room in episode 4. Remember that? It looked like an infinity box. You couldn't tell who was real and who was a reflection.
Oh, I loved that. Especially because the guards were also reflected. It was like, you could be them, they could be you. Everyone's just trapped in their own echo.
Exactly. And the use of the cracked glass bridge in episode 6, a callback to season 1, was brilliant. But this time, instead of glass panels, it was words.
Right. You had to choose the truth or the lie to cross, and if you picked wrong, you fell. Literal representation of how propaganda works in this world.
And don't even get me started on the color choices. Did you notice that this season's red was darker? Almost burgundy?
Yes, and the green jumpsuits had a more faded, washed-out tone. It felt like innocence was drained from the players themselves.
Okay. We have to talk about the final game, Sky Squid. That title alone gave me chills.
It's poetic and cruel. 3 towers, 1 objective, reach the top and claim the crown.
But it's not just climbing. Each tower represents something. Tower 1 was strength, Tower 2 was sacrifice, and Tower 3 was truth.
And the players don't know which is which, they just choose blindly. It's such a brutal metaphor for life, or war, or capitalism.
And when Gi-hun chooses Tower 3, we know he's already made peace with his fate. He's choosing truth, and truth gets you killed in this world.
That final confrontation between him and Myung-gi broke me. They weren't just fighting physically, they were fighting ideologies.
Yes, one believes survival is victory. The other believes sacrifice is the only way out.
Okay, deep breath. Let's talk about the moment the island explodes.
I rewatched it 3 times. It's haunting. The lights go out. The countdown begins. and you realize the game is done, but not the system.
And then out of nowhere, the front man appears. He's never intervened like that before, but this time, he saves the child.
It's redemption, or maybe guilt. He couldn't save his brother, but he saves the future.
And that final shot of him holding the baby in the helicopter, fire in the distance, his mask off, it was cinematic gold.
And quiet, no music, just wind and breath. It was the calm after absolute moral chaos.
Did you catch how many moments mirrored season 1?
Tons. The coin flip, the hallway with the pink stairs, even the shape of the playground in the final episode. It was a full circle.
But this time, the games didn't just challenge the body, they challenged the conscience. That's a huge evolution from season 1, which was more about desperation.
Season 1. How far will you go to survive? Season 3. What are you willing to die for?
That's it. That's the thesis. Let's just say it, Lee Jung-jae as Gi-hun. Better than ever. He was grieving, burning with purpose, and by the final episode, he was glowing with heartbreak.
There's this moment in episode 7, remember? When he's sitting alone under the bunk bed, whispering his daughter's name? No music, just breath and tears. Emmy-worthy.
Total silence, and yet we hear everything. Guilt, anger, hope. That's not easy to convey.
And how about Kim So-hyun, who played Jun-hee? I did not expect to cry over a character who had maybe 40 minutes of total screen time. She was so controlled, so brave.
And that final whisper to her daughter? Your name is Hope. Just wow. Now, if you know us, you know we go wild for production design, and this season was loaded with symbolism.
So much. The set pieces weren't just cool looking, they meant something. Like the elevator that takes players up to the towers in the final game?
Yes, it wasn't an elevator. It was a glass cage, and the walls were covered with images of ancient war murals. Like real depictions of human sacrifice from ancient cultures.
Exactly. It told you, you're part of something historic, but not in a good way. The game masks brutality and tradition.
And the baby's nursery? It looked sweet on the surface, pastel colors, clouds painted on the walls. But every toy had some piece missing. A puzzle with one piece gone. A teddy bear with one eye.
Subtle but disturbing, like trauma wearing a smile. Let's get into fan territory, the TikToks, Reddit posts, the Twitter wars.
Twitter exploded the night the finale dropped. Hashtags like #SaveTheBaby, #Gi-hun deserved better, and #Squid Game USA were trending worldwide.
Reddit was wild. There's a theory floating around that the front man is actually grooming the baby to become the next game master.
Oh, and did you see the theory that Jun-hee knew she'd die and that she was once a guard? People are connecting her tattoo to one scene in Season 1, Episode 3.
I love that fans are digging this deep. That's what great writing does. It invites speculation without handing everything to you.
Okay, Jake. Big question. Will there be a Season 4?
Officially, no word. Unofficially, that ending with the American Didachi scene basically guarantees a spinoff.
And with Cate Blanchett involved, it's likely going global. I think we're getting Squid Game USA next.
Or maybe an anthology-style season Kate. Different country, new players, same core rules.
As long as they keep the themes grounded in humanity, sacrifice, and resistance, I'm in.
Same, but please, no more baby trauma. I can't take it.
All right, Jake. Let's get personal. What's your biggest takeaway from this season?
For me, it was this idea that survival isn't always heroic. Sometimes it's selfish, and sometimes The bravest thing is to not play.
I love that. For me, it was the power of one small act. Junhee giving up her life for her child, Ji-hoon choosing not to win, the frontman stopping the game. These quiet acts, they changed everything.
And I love that the show ended on a note of hope. A child survives. The system takes a hit. It's not a total victory, but it's a crack in the armor.
And that's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for listening to our Squid Game Season 3 podcast.
We hope you not only enjoyed the story, but also picked up some real English along the way. And most importantly, we studied English together, step by step, with real conversation. Whether you're here for the language, the drama, or both, we're so glad you joined us.
See you next time.
And remember, English is more fun when it's part of your favorite shows.